Let the fun begin. Skilla, you are here, aka an hour of my favorite streamer. I appreciate you. This is gonna be a lot different. I'm just hold on. If I'm gonna be talking to you guys, then we're gonna go to control three. Which is a nice little hockey. I hope you're doing well, Skilla. It is good to see you. I'm glad you hopped on almost immediately. Shout out to you. So right now we are. This is very different. All right, I want you to be patient with me because we're still learning how to do this properly. But we are going to be doing a live audition. I think I might be. No, everything looks good there. We're going to be doing a live audition, meaning I will be voice acting. We are used to you breaking stuff. I'm breaking my throat. Jesus, sorry about that. So we're doing a live audition, all right? And this is going to consist of my intro. So I'm going to read off my intro for this, but it is about Sinigang. Sinigang. It's a Filipino animated series. That's not the right way to say it, but I'm super excited because I've never done a actual live audition before. But I was like, you know what? I gotta show up. I gotta show up on stream. I gotta show up for chat, for you, Skilla, for Munchie, for Little Mixed Panda. I'm not sure where they are, but also we got some new animations. I'm very curious. We got some new animations that I created, some emotes for new followers. If someone wants to see that, yep. That's sick. Yeah, so we did. I'll talk about that here in a second. For anybody who's not understanding on TikTok or YouTube, I created these specific emotes on Twitch that if you want to go check it out, just hop right over there. But I've been working. You should see until someone follows me on Twitch, someone subscribes. I don't have any hype train things ready. But well, what you mean you lost your bet? What does that even mean? What were you betting? I'm not. He was like, he's not gonna get that far. I'm trying. But I'm super excited about that. But first things first, it was good chatting with you. I do have to hop into this intro because, like I said, this is I gotta treat my live streams like recording sessions. That's how Ludwig, the OG Ludwig, content creator of the year, like 5 years ago. But still, his information at Streamer University was very, very informative. And instead of just hopping on live for 4, 6, 8 hours, you should treat it like a recording session. And with this VOD, I cut it up and I posted on YouTube so it could become not evergreen, unless that's the kind of content I'm making, but it can be recommended much further and get more exposure. I cut that into clips and put that on social media, and then hopefully it funnels back to my Twitch. But Skilla has been with me since day one, so shout out to you. But this one's gonna be different. Like I said, this is a different live stream. This is a live audition. So let's cut the chit chat. So that's why I keep see you on his thing. Yep, yeah, bro. I'm trying. We got a plan. Okay. First thing is first. Let's hop on over to bam, bam, and bam. So today I'm doing something a little different. I'm taking you through my live audition process for Kiko in Sinigang, an indie animated series inspired by Filipino culture. And I'm going to look at what we know about the project, read about the character description, break down the clues inside the script, and work through each scene until I find a version of Kiko that feels honest to me. Now, the goal isn't only to show you an audition in my process. I want this to be useful for actors and voice actors who want to see how someone can take a new script and ask specific and better questions and gradually turn words on a page into a real person. So this is my process, okay? This is entirely my creative process, and it isn't the only way to approach this character. And nothing I say is a rule, okay? I'm still learning, experimenting, and discovering the performance in real time. And in the span of 4 years, I've been an actor. I've done a fair amount of commercials and TV series, and I did my first ever feature film with Alex Wolf that I'm super proud of. But still, every single day, I'm learning as an actor, whether that's watching movies, whether that's auditions that I have to break down, character work, or I'm reading poems, listening to a song. Everything is from a creative lens that I'm always fine tuning my own craft. So, enough chit chat. Let's meet Kiko and understand Sinigang and examine what the writers have given us and see where the work takes us. Okie dokie. So before I decide what Kiko should sound like, I want to understand who he is. A voice isn't a character by itself. The voice should come from what he wants, how he relates to people, and how he is trying to protect. So I'm going to separate what the script is actually telling us from the choices I'm personally making. That way, even if someone interprets Kiko differently, the performance can still be grounded in that same evidence. Okay, but like I said, we need to understand Kiko, but to understand Kiko, we need to understand Sinigang. So I'm on Instagram right now. Hold on. And this is Studio Tiny Tuko. I don't know what a Tuko is, but this is going to be interesting. I love Tiny Tuko, and it's like a little salamander. So I want to say Tuko is like a little salamander. I will say we're gonna watch some in what Sinigang is and why I'm auditioning for Kiko, but I understand that not the character, her name is Camille. We'll get to her profile because she talks about Kiko in a lot. I think it's Camille or Camille. I hope I'm not butchering that. But she is the creative designer, the animator, just the soul, the heart of Sinigang. And Sinigang is a dish, by the way. But let's just get into this.
I'm creating a Filipino animated series, and this is the very beginning. It's called Sinigang, a story about Filipino mythology, family, and fighting your way out. It follows a young Arnis fighter named Tama, who just wants to lift her and her grandmother out of poverty, but she gets pulled into a world of supernatural forces. At its heart, it's about found family and what it really means to protect the people that you love. So while it's not about the dish Sinigang itself, it's about what it represents. Each character is like an ingredient, and together they become something much more. Right now we're refining the pilot script and developing the characters. Once that's locked in, the goal is to build a team of artists, animators, create a teaser, and start bringing this world to life. We'll also be opening a call for voice actors, so if you'd like to be involved, keep an eye out. We'll be building Sinigang under my indie animation studio, Studio Tiny Tuko, where we'll eventually launch a crowdfunding campaign to produce the full pilot. I'll be sharing the journey here, but for anything Sinigang related, follow Studio Tiny Tuko. If this is something that you want to see exist, you're early.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. She did that very quick, but I'm gonna break it down just because I've already, looked through this entire Instagram page and actually her page when she talks more about the development of Sinigang. So this is what we need to know. We need to know who is Kiko, but just this idea of Filipino exploration. I mean, like that's what I'm doing. I'm exploring more of my culture. I'm exploring more of my Russian and Filipino culture, but I'm doing that through food. And what I mean by that is I'm just exploring certain flavors and dishes in Sinigang. Why is that there? Why is there tamarind? Because I just realized the main character, as you're looking at, Tama or Tema or Tama, I don't know how you want to say it. She even said it and I forgot. Her ingredient is tamarind. And Kiko's is based off of like the leaf in Sinigang. So it's so interesting. It's meant to be. But we're not getting the meat and potatoes of this whole video is going to be the audition part. But I really want to understand Kiko off of what they put out. Okay, dokie. We are going to be right back because someone is here. I'll be right back. I don't have a just be right back screen, so I'm just going to leave. Please, Skilla or chat, be entertained. My babula, my babushka is here unannounced. So we're going to improv right now. I have to go. I don't know if I want to put that in or not. That is just hilarious to me. My grandma, my babushka, my babula. As I'm talking about family, um, that's just hilarious. She is 86 years old or 85 years old. She lives in my same subdivision, and she walks. She gets around. All right. She is mobile. So she literally just came in unannounced, and she's asking for him like, okay, I can either stop this, but she's just cleaning. She's like, I'll be out of your hair. That was that was funny. But it's hard because I don't really speak Russian, so I'm trying to tell her I'm at work. But she's like, that's fine. I'm just here to clean, and then I'll be out of your hair. But like, the only thing I can say is work, not live streaming. I'm like, Grandma, I'm live streaming right now. I forget that she can just. I do that too. Whenever I visit her at my mom's house, because they both live together, I'll just show up unannounced. So it's kind of weird having it happen to me. But 85 years old, still walking around. I'm proud of her. All right. Who is Kiko? That's funny. That's really funny. Drop everything and go spend time with her. No. I already did. She just don't worry. I would drop everything to go spend time with her. Trust me. I took her on a date. We went just because I knew, it's moments like these that you don't know how long your time is with family. And I remember just recently I took her on a date. We went to go get ice cream because she loves strawberry ice cream. I got the waffle cone. She got a waffle cone as well. My mom was there with us too because she wanted to come. But we went to sushi. We went to get some sushi. She really liked the sushi restaurant, and she only eats fried sushi. Oh, do you like the emotes, by the way? Oh gosh. I have to do some editing for this video. The point of these VODs is that I can do this all interrupted, but something like this is purely improv. She said she's gonna be here for a bit. She doesn't want to bother me. She just wanted to let me know she was here. But yeah, we got the emotes, the free emotes, the chat. Aw, my brother passed away at 98. They are precious. I'm sorry to hear that, but 98, that is absolutely incredible. That's the thing too with modern day medicine and longevity. People talk about living such a long life, and whenever I used to volunteer at a retirement home, and you talk to people, everybody there was, I want to say 80 plus, 70 plus, and they would tell you just stories. And so I bet your grandmother had so many stories, either that she had or she told you, or maybe she didn't tell you. I'm still learning so many things from my babula, my babushka. And don't worry, she'll be here. I think she said, yeah, she's going to take care of the flowers. She moves, all right? She's a Russian babushka. She knows how to handle herself. But as I was saying, Yapaholic, I'm glad you're here. We're going to hop back into the video. If you don't know already, I am just live auditioning, something I've never done before, but this is a live audition for an indie film called Sinigang. And this is by Tiny Tuko Studio. And we are auditioning for this character right here called Kiko. But to first audition, we have to understand who Kiko is.
Meet Kiko. Kiko is 19. He's tall for a Filipino, he's perceptive and always prepared. He's a young albulario. An albulario is a traditional Filipino healer who works with herbs, rituals, and ancestral spiritual knowledge. He understands the unseen world better than most. With a belt of vials and charms at his side, Kiko becomes Tama's introduction to mythology and the rules that govern it. Despite being a healer, Kiko can't heal his sick mother. Driven by desperation, he isolates himself in the belief that preparation can outthink fate. Where Tama is headstrong and meets danger with force, Kiko searches for understanding to try and rationalize. Through her, he begins to learn that healing is not only about saving others, it is about allowing yourself to be saved too. Do you think you could be the voice of Kiko? Meet Kiko. Kiko is not.
I like this a lot. I've been watching a lot, and I think we can watch a few right now. I've been watching a lot of auditions already posted because I believe Camille, I think it's Camille. I'm gonna say Camille. She is the character designer, the animator, the heart and soul of Sinigang, and that's this is her personal page, but she also has one for Studio Tiny Tuko. Maybe there's a team that I don't even know about that's behind this, but as of right now, this is all the information that we have, which is a lot, and just Filipino mythology, learning about my Filipino culture through food, and sinigang is a food. I don't know if I actually like sinigang. Let's see. This is more about Kiko. Oh, this is just character work. I think we can see actual auditions right now.
Join me and let's draw
Scene 1. Wait, hear that?
We're trying out this audition for Kiko. It looks like a fun one, so let's get into it. Right? You get me though. I mean, I was thinking it would take a couple of days to just research and maybe I have to go look online. And I mean, it would... Wait. Do you hear that?
I personally liked his, just because he did something as an actor. I don't know his background, but he did something very good. He kind of waved into the audition, and we're going to do that as well for our character breakdown and our character scenes, as you see me break down this character. But this is such a... I'll mention it when we get to the scenes, but I really liked his take as Kiko.
We're trying out this...
A lot of this is like artwork. I think Camille, she did a contest on Tama. Tama is the main character of Sinigang, and basically she said just draw your own version, and everybody has their own beautiful take of it. And I love seeing this. Oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and see something like this, just a whole time lapse of creating this. Stuff like that is amazing. And then you might see a Kiko audition. What's funny is that since this is a mythological, I think that's the right word, a mythological Filipino animated series, there's something called a, how do you even say it? Let me see, let's go back here. Duende, which is like a little elf. I have to look up these things because there's so much about this, the mythology about the Filipino mythology that I do not know, but...
Could you be the voice of a duende? In Filipino folklore, duende are small, ancient spirits of the land, often unseen but always present. They guard sacred spaces, trees, mounds, and places people are warned not to disturb. Treat them with respect, and they may offer protection, but provoke them, and they won't forget. Stories speak of sudden illness, unexplained misfortune, and relentless mischief. That's why some people still say, tabi-tabi po. It's a quiet way of saying, please let me pass.
I was watching this Filipino comedian, and he mentioned that same phrase of tabi-tabi po, meaning like, please let me pass, or excuse me. But he said it in the context of when you pee in a... I don't know if this is true or not. This is just what I heard from this comedian, which I found him very funny. But he said, when you pee in a bush, you say tabi-tabi po, meaning excuse me, please, because if there's these little duende, these little elves in there, you say, excuse me, I'm going... And you still pee on their home. I don't know if that's true or not. Somebody has to fact check me. What I like, okay, let's kind of break down into my character work on how I would do Kiko, because the interesting part about this specific animation is that all the information we need about Sinigang is literally posted here, or if not in the actual audition lines in the character breakdown, even on her page where she talks about this. Oh, here's the contest, by the way. 35K contest, draw this in your style. I don't know if that's 35,000. Hold on. First place, featured on the Tiny Studio page, custom original signed sketch of a character of your choice and a Sinigang sticker. And it closes today. Oh, it closes today. Interesting. But like I said, this is all the information we need. In the actual TV and film industry, whenever you get an audition, sometimes they'll give you the entire script. And the script could be 150 pages, 200 pages, and this could be either for a whole movie, a feature film, or say for a TV series, and it's an episode. Maybe it's about 15 pages. But still, when you get a full script, and these Instagram pages, so shout out Camille, I'm just gonna say Camille. If it's wrong, I apologize. But this Studio Tani Tuko. This and her page is like having a full script, because this is all the information you need. Not just if you're auditioning for Kiko, if you're auditioning for Lola Orinda, which is Tama's mom, but in your scenes, which we really have to get to here shortly, but in your scenes, who are you talking to? I already looked at the audition lines, and we'll look at them here in a second, but these are just kind of just straight lines, and it's not like a scene where you talk to somebody, but as you're breaking down the scene, you have to think, okay, who am I talking to? Is it Tama? Is it a duende? Is it Lolo Rinda? That will affect how you play the character. But just understanding these characteristics is so important. I really want to see if we can find any more information. Let's do this. Why Sinigang?
Series. Well, it's almost time! Voice acting auditions for Sinigang are opening on July 31st. If you've ever dreamed of voicing a character in an animated series, why am I making a Filipino animated series? Well, growing up Filipino-Canadian, I always felt like there was more to my culture that I've always wanted to understand. I've always been proud to be Filipino, like my mom's side of the family speaks Tagalog, my dad's side of the family speaks Ilonggo, and I always grew up watching ABS-CBN, GMA teleseries, listening to Filipino music, OPM, all of that. I actually learned Tagalog from watching Going Bulilit growing up, so I can speak and understand Tagalog pretty well, but I find that holding a conversation is a different story. As I got older, I realized there's still so much more for me to learn, and it's not just the language, it's the history, the folklore, and the traditions. A few years ago, I even had the chance to visit Buscalan and meet Apo Wangod, to which I actually got tattooed by her. She's so sweet, and although I don't speak her dialect, I thought that it was still a really good experience connecting with her. I think that experience definitely reminded me of just how rich Filipino culture really is, and I think that's ultimately what led me to create Sinigang in the first place. I didn't want to just create another action series, I wanted to create a series that celebrated Filipino culture in a way that was exciting, authentic, and accessible to everyone. Not just for people in the Philippines, but also for Filipinos like me that just want to feel a bit more connected to where we came from. I'm still learning and researching every day to make this series feel as authentic as it possibly can. At the end of the day, my hope is that Sinigang helps Filipinos feel a bit more connected to their roots while also sharing the beauty of Filipino culture to people around the world. If it can inspire someone to learn more about our stories, our mythology, or just take pride in where we come from, then I think we've created something really special. Why am I making a Filipino anime?
And I love that too. She's exploring the Filipino culture in her own way. Just like a lot of people, you don't have to be Filipino. You don't have to be mixed, ethnically mixed. But there is a beauty in just understanding where you come from. Whether that's asking your mom or your dad, like, how did you guys meet? Or what were you thinking when you were deciding my name? Was I going to be named something else? Stuff like this, it's just about curiosity. And I love her take with this, especially about mythology and folklore. Oh, that's something I have absolutely no clue. We'll explore. I feel that's definitely an interest of mine. Like I said, I started with food, understanding the flavors, how to make these recipes. We will be making our own recipe of chicken adobo in the future. But just my exploration with this and understanding mythology piqued my interest. So I don't think there's much more. Actually, let's understand who the main character. Let's understand Tama.
Do you think you could be the voice of Tama? Tama is 19 and is determined to pull herself and her grandmother out of poverty. A skilled Arnis fighter from a small village outside Manila, she secretly competes in underground tournaments for prize money, hiding the bruises and the truth from her Lola Rinda, who forbids her from fighting. To Tama, love means sacrifice, and sacrifice means doing whatever it takes. If she can win enough and endure enough, she believes she can finally give them both a safer life. A skeptic who dismisses mythology as superstition, Tama is pulled into a world of supernatural conflict when she is recruited into a team confronting unseen forces. What begins as a practical fight for financial survival grows far more complicated, forcing her to realize that protecting her Lola may require more than just money and muscle. Personality-wise, she is a perfectionist, competitive, disciplined, stubborn, and independent to a fault. Do you think you could be our Tama? Do you think
This is important to know. See, like I said, in these auditions that we're going to do, because there's technically six scenes, and we're going to do 2 to 3 versions of them, we have to understand who we're talking to. I'm going to talk a lot differently to Tama than if I was talking to Lorinda, which is Tama's mom. So it does play an effect as an actor, making that choice. I'm trying to think, why Sinigang?
Why am I making a
We just watched that one. Oh, here we go. This is cool because this is all inspired by ingredients.
The characters in my indie animated series are inspired by the ingredients in the dish sinigang. What do I mean by that? The visuals in what they wear, their personality, the roles in the story, and even their character dynamics are inspired by the ingredients themselves. Tama is of course inspired by tamarind, which is essentially the ingredient that defines sinigang. It's bold, sharp, sour, intense, the flavor that immediately stands out. Without it, the dish just wouldn't feel complete, and I wanted Tama to carry that same energy. While Kiko is inspired by kangkong, something softer and more grounding that helps balance out the stronger flavors in the soup. There's something comforting and supportive about it, which is why I liked the idea of Kiko being more healing-oriented. He's not always the loudest presence in the room, but he helps hold people together in quieter ways. Now, I do have other ingredient-inspired characters planned out for the rest of Sinigang, but I am curious what you guys think the other ingredients would be like if they were personified. The characters in
Kangkong. We have to channel our inner kangkong. Kangkong. All right. I'm learning so much already through Sinigang. Okay, let's break down this character, but we can take a few minutes in the just chatting. Oh, Yapaholic, you've been saying stuff. What you been saying? I'm curious about the pay. This is interesting because this might just be totally volunteer work. I don't know. I said volunteer work. My inner turon, exactly. But what is it? She said that in this audition, which I'm gonna have to look at the stats or like the information about it. It's like a pilot series. Pilot meaning like you put all you produce it yourself. You create everything yourself, and then you pitch it to a production company. I may have this completely wrong, but this is just to my knowledge of the 4 years I've been acting and talking to people on set and working on a TV series that was pitched to a production company. Every process might be different, but what was it? You'll pitch it to a production company and they may green light it, meaning, hey, we like your idea. We will help you put it on streaming services in a nutshell. I believe so, but literally I'm doing this because it spoke to me in a way that I want to also explore my Filipino side. And if I can do that through voice acting, and I'm already an actor, that is just the best of my both worlds. And to document this journey, like I low-key am right now with this live stream, that would be awesome. But you said, do you have a lot of voice acting experience? So less voice, honestly, no. I'm making this video to not only showcase how to break my process on breaking down a script and a character, but just to encourage others to understand that you don't have to have experience with this. She even says this, that you don't have to have experience. You can simply do this if you are a professional actor, intermediate, if you just have your phone. Like, this is a whole setup, by the way. This is a whole studio setup. Most people don't have this. I will say that because of my 4 years of acting experience and commercial work, some of that commercial work I did have to go into a studio. I do have voice acting experience, but it's literally like one booking, like one day I stepped inside the recording studio just to do this commercial. But understanding that voice acting and acting, they're very different in terms of voice acting. You have to, you're breathing. Sometimes take a breath here, or your inflections, your tone, the speed of your voice, how fast are you talking, how blah, 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 stuff like this. Acting, you don't have to worry about your physical features. If it's for an animation, I mean, the features are already, drawn. And so there's a lot of things that go into it, but I really want to make sure I don't disclose any information that I'm not supposed to, meaning that I want to show you Kiko's audition lines, and it is free. Like, I'm on their Instagram page right now as we are just chatting. You can get their auditions. This is completely for free. If you click here, I'm just trying to see all the information it says about any disclosure form. I'm trying to be professional as well. If you're going to take something away right now in this live audition breakdown, it's understanding. It's not an NDA. You'll hear actors or models or whoever, they'll talk about, oh, I signed an NDA, I can't talk about it. And all that means is it's a non-disclosure agreement, meaning that you signed a contract saying you're not going to talk about this on social media to your friends and family. You're not going to share anything about this because it's supposed to be exclusive. It sounds like Disney will pick this up. I don't know. I don't know who. All I know is that I'm trying to channel my inner Turon. I'm hard on the outside and soft on the inside, and you can have me hot. I'm pretty hot. I like it hot. I'm not getting anywhere with that. They sound like high-pitched chipmunks. Let's hear yours. Oh, the whatchamacallit, those little goblin things. I'm really interested in auditioning for it because she said, I'm gonna read it here. You can audition for several roles, and I don't see anything about the audition form. I'm gonna show you the audition. I just had to clarify it again, but I think I have another intro to hop into. Like I said, I'm making this for YouTube. And to stretch my acting abilities. See what we can do here. So we'll go to full screen. And then bada bing, bada boom. For this scene, I'm asking my character questions. How I break down a script. You know, things like what just happened in this scene. What does Kiko want? What's his goal? Who is he speaking to? What is he... what is preventing him from getting what he wants, from reaching his goals, and what changes before the scene ends? There should be, in my process, a climax moment of reaching a certain emotional range, and then seeing how that can change almost in an instant. Like I said, this is just my process. It's not an end-all be-all, but this is just how I do it. So I'm going to perform it once and give myself one specific adjustment, and then try again for a different take. I don't want to change 10 different things at once, and I don't expect you to as well, because then you just won't know which choice actually happened. So trust your first, second, and third takes, and trust me, after doing take after take after take for many different auditions, usually you always go back to your first 3, if not your first 2. So let's take a look. Here we are with Kiko. Okie dokie. Like I said, this is free to the public if you want to see it yourself. And so let's talk about Kiko. I'm excited. So his age range is young adult, 21 to 26. He is a male. This is what I love. This is the character breakdown. Everything will be different, by the way. This is not like every single audition, but you can pick and choose. Excuse me. The advice that I give you in terms of my creative process. So, Kiko is a kind-hearted albulario. First things first, I don't know what that is. What is an albulario? What is a albulario? An albulario is a traditional folk healer or medicine person in the Philippines. Acting as a community general practitioner, they treat various physical and supernatural ailments using a blend of herbal remedies. So he's a healer. Perfect. And it's something like that. Something like that. If there's a word in a actual line that you have in your scene, you're like, I don't know what that means. Google it. You won't believe how many times I've gotten a script and I'm like, my vocabulary isn't as, it's not up to par with this script. But like I said, you gotta, or I don't always say this, but not fake it till you make it. I don't know how I feel about fake it till you make it. But just say it with confidence. Even if you don't know what the word means, say it with confidence. Understand what it means by Googling it, but just commit to the bit. So he is a healer who's quite compassion. See, this is me reading live. Often makes him the emotional anchor of the group. He's thoughtful and empathetic. He has a calming presence that puts others at ease, preferring to listen before he speaks. Though gentle by nature, he possesses an unwavering conviction and isn't afraid to stand his ground when the people he cares about are threatened. I like that. I like that. So you might start to notice that I'm already kind of figuring out his voice, his tone. He can be stern when he needs to, but he thinks before he speaks. So he's very emotionally mature. As you can tell, I'm already breaking down this character. This is just my way of doing it. So the voice direction. Kiko has a warm, calm, and reassuring tone with a gentle cadence. So cadence is just about speed and how you speak, taking your time, thinking before you speak, and it's warm and calm. We're just channeling our inner Kiko. Or what was it? Puto Pong? The actual dish this is about. So he rarely raises his voice, but when he does, it carries an authority that demands attention. All right. So don't piss off Kiko. Please read through the following audition lines in blue and record the lines in the tone and direction provided for each section. We are looking for performers that feel authentic and conversational rather than overly anime or exaggerated. I love that. First off, I'm going to stop right there. We are looking for performers that feel authentic and conversational rather than overly anime or exaggerated. This is an animation. So you might think about, okay, I have to accentuate, you gotta grunt, you hear, I love anime. So it's always funny when like the main character or whatever character gets hit and you're like, ah! And you got these sound effects. So don't do anime or exaggerated. That's what I low-key like about when I already read this before. I'm just rereading it right now with you guys to break this down. But I was reading this and I was like, that's perfect because we're doing a live audition. I'm just going to read this as if Kiko, as if Tama, as if Sinigang, this was an actual film and they were real life characters, not an animated series. But let's continue on. Emotional honesty and believable delivery are more important than sounding polished or theatrical. So it's not about making sure the inflection in your voice is very specific, especially with my vocabulary. I'm going to stumble on my words. I got to do vocal exercises. So feel free to add small natural pauses, reactions, or personal touches to make the performance feel genuine. Have fun with it and don't be afraid to make the character your own. Okay, artichoke. And just for anyone, because I do see people in the chat right now, I want to make sure I address everyone. I'm basically doing, Samantha, I saw you. How are you doing? Mason, have you ever acted in studio films or major TV series of Netflix or Prime before? Not on Netflix or Prime. I'm not at that level just yet, but I have done a few TV series as a guest star regular. I did my first ever feature film, which means a feature film is just anything that lasts longer than 90 minutes, according to the SAG-AFTRA definition. It's just a thing of a, what's the thing? A union? I don't know. What do you want to call it? Diction, enunciation. Yes, I'm doing great. But yeah, what we're doing here is a live audition breakdown. I'm reading this script with you guys, and so this is just how I break down a script. Terrell, what is up? This is good timing. This is our just chatting screen right now. I want to say in preface for anyone watching or listening right now, if I ignore your message, if I'm not in the just chatting scene, that's on purpose, just because I'm trying to, this is how I make my VODs. I like the upgrades. You already know. If you're on Twitch, Samantha, if you're on Twitch or anybody on TikTok, YouTube, I created my own emotes, free emotes for anybody, followers, subscribers, a lot of things. I put a lot of time and attention into that. So hopefully, I don't know, somebody follows so that you can see it. See, Skilla sees it. But I've incorporated a lot of my Filipino culture, even Russian culture, into my emotes. So that's really fun. Do you consciously regulate your breathing? You're making me think about if I'm breathing. Low-key, yeah. When I started working on removing my filler words when I speak, a lot of people say like, but I still do. I say quite often, but this is a pure example. you can't just get rid of it. But as I started to practice trying to get rid of filler words, a great coach just said, just take a pause, regulate your breathing, take a breath. That should be the first thing you say, is your breath. He was kind of talking about how to have a conversation with someone and thinking before you speak, but there's a power in regulating your breathing in a conversation. Lucky Rabbage, hi, how are you? It's good to see you, everybody on TikTok and on YouTube. This is the Just Chatting screen. We will go into the actual scene. Guys, get ready. We are going to do a live audition. Right now, as Kiko, and you are going to see me break down this character. How I do want to say this as well. So what I'm doing with Twitch, live streaming, whether that's on TikTok, YouTube, mainly on Twitch, because this is just an amazing platform and such a strong community here. I take one long VOD and I have these segments where I will either talk about my Filipino and Russian culture, acting, or fitness, and I take that whole VOD and I cut it up into YouTube videos. So that can be recommended to more people so they can come back to my Twitch. And I take those YouTube videos, I cut them up into social media clips, and then I put that out into social media, and hopefully it goes back to my Twitch, and it's like a funnel. So that's my system right now. So if I'm not on the Just Chatting screen, that means I'm working on the YouTube video. I'm working on that aspect. Last question, Hosen, you got it, coming from TikTok. Why you kind of look like that rich guy trying to be the healthiest? Why you? You're talking about Brian Johnson. I actually love Brian Johnson's. Not his. I mean, shoot, the way that he lives life is like a robot. But to have someone out of the however billion, 7-8 billion people there are in the world, he's trying to live to like 120. And so I've taken a lot of what he considers the best longevity protocols, as in your daily exercise, how many minutes a day should you get, sauna, cold plunging, the benefits of this for longevity, vitamins. He breaks down a lot, and he's putting millions of dollars into his research. So it's funny that you say that. But yeah, right now we're going to go into scene number 1. This is how I break down a character. So I will go back to Just Chatting, but for now I gotta lock in. We gotta lock in, you guys. Okay, joke. Oh no. Is that right? Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. So scene number 1, this is titled Something Feels Wrong, meaning that should be the foundation of the tone that is set. So the context is, while walking home at night, Kiko suddenly senses something unusual. The mood shifts immediately. Excuse me. The direction. It should be quiet, alert, a noticeable drop in energy. He isn't panicking, he's paying attention. This is what I've noticed already from auditions on the Studio Tani Tuko's Instagram when they're reposting people's auditions. This is like the blue line is the lines. It says, wait, do you hear that? No, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. This isn't a wrong thing to do, but this is part of a dialogue, right? So this is, nobody just says, wait, do you hear that? No, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. I mean, yeah, that kind of sounds like a specific, like one long sentence, but this is the dialogue between him, and I'm just going to make the character choice. He's talking to Tama, so he says wait, and in this case, if it's a dialogue, Tama would say, what, do you hear something? And then I would say, now, do you hear that? Oh no, maybe she wouldn't say that. I would say wait, she would say what? And I was like, do you hear that? And she could say something like, I don't hear anything at all, which makes me say, no, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. So this is just a creative choice as an actor. I mean, like, in this specific case, you have to think about, who are you talking to? If you're talking to Tama, rather than if you're talking to, let me show you. If you're talking to one of these little boys.
Could you be the voice of a duende? In Filipino folklore, duende are small, ancient spirits of the land, often unseen but always present. They guard
If you're talking to one of these little elves, you're going to deliver these lines much differently than if you were talking to Tama. And so we already know this character. He's very centered. He's a healer. He is calm, and we already have the context and direction. I will say that my character breakdown, apart from other people's character breakdown, it could be you could be like, Gio, I think you're thinking too much into it, which is a good thing. I want you to think that, because the more you think about it, this just shows you the work ethic of someone, how they create a backstory and even a future story for a character. This all helps your creative process. Everybody's different, by the way. Everybody's different. You could just say, wait, you hear that? No, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. And cut. With me, I want to be a little bit differently. So let's try to figure this out. I will say I do have to go to a different screen. So I will go to this screen as I'm delivering this line, because I'm submitting this. This is a live audition. So we're going to go back to this and just show you my character breakdown. How do I want to break this down for Kiko? Kiko suddenly senses something unusual. This is going to be weird, all right? This is weird for me. Just bear with me here. Okay. So while walking home at night with Tama, Kiko suddenly senses something unusual. Boom. Let's just start there. He senses something unusual. What? We could react to anything, but what is he sensing? This is a mythological Filipino indie film, and so he could sense a shift in the air. Why? Maybe it got colder. You ever notice how you speak a little bit differently when it's really cold rather than when it's like super hot outside? When it's really cold, you kind of bundle up. Obviously, not to the point to where you're shivering, but everything's a bit more tight. And if it's really hot, you're just like a little bit more gassed. So you're going to be like, wait. Otherwise, if you're really cold, it could be like, wait. So you're more constricted, conserved. But in this cake, in this cake, after this, we will have some. In this take for Kiko, what does he sense? He's a healer. I don't know why, but my creative mind just goes to we're in a forest right now. This is a magical Filipino forest, and this is the fun part. We get to just create something. I'm not going to say this is how Sinigang is going to be filmed, but this is my character choice. So we're in a forest. It's a magical, mythological Filipino forest. It's a mango tree forest, but the air gets a little bit more still or thin, meaning it doesn't get cold, but it's like something almost took your breath away. It's like a little harder to breathe. So something is near. I'm going to say that something is near. What is that something? Maybe it's a mythological creature. Let's actually do one better and go to this. So
I'm creating a Filipino animated series. Is the very beginning. It's called Sinigang, a story about Filipino mythology, family, and fighting your way out. It follows a young Arnese fighter named Tama, who just wants to lift her and her grandmother out of poverty, but she gets pulled.
Bam. So these are mythological, like the Duenda. It's the elf. We're just gonna say, like, this dude is scary. We're gonna say we're walking in this mango forest, me and Tama, and we sense something in the air. The air gets very thin. And aswag. It's a twisted nocturnal predator. Aswang shed their human it looks like a vampire, but this is essentially what's surrounding us. This is fun. This is fun. We're just making creative choices now. So when she says Kiko suddenly senses something unusual, that means that Aswang is near. And if you ever see that, like, you think of a horror movie, it's like, oh, this is going to get a little scary. And so this is quiet. He's alert because he's thinking. I'm going to try to put myself literally in Sinigang right now. So this is interesting. A noticeable drop in energy. Not in him or in Tama, but in the atmosphere. That's the choice I'm going to make. A noticeable drop in energy. Or possibly they were talking, like, what happened before? These are questions that you got to think about. Ooh. Uda Hagen, the respect for acting. She talks about questions that you should think about while doing a script, a scene, stuff like this. will be honest with you, her vocabulary is much bigger than mine, and the way that she teaches is much better than I can comprehend. So I could have that terribly wrong. But essentially, what happens before the scene? Think about that. Maybe the drop in energy is maybe we were just happy. Maybe we're coming from, I don't know, shopping at grocery stores and we're just having a good bonding time. And the drop in energy, boom, air gets thin. We don't see the aswang, but we just feel this weird energy because maybe that's just the vibe it gives off when it's close. So he isn't panicky, he's just paying attention. Like when that happens, you look around like what's going on? And then let's go here because we're ready to audition. This is so fun. I'm having such a fun time. Okay, so if it's that kind of vibe, you're walking, you're having a time. Wait, do you hear that? No, he wouldn't say it like that. Wait, do you hear that? He doesn't hear anything. That's why he would say that. But no, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to treat this as if it was an actual audition, meaning that anytime I'm reading for an audition, this is exactly how I would frame myself. I would have this much space and this much, to my armpit, and I would look right off camera to the side as if I was talking to someone. Oh, you guys are getting the detailed artistic work right now. Okay, so wait, do you hear that? I don't like to look at my lines. I like to pretend I'm looking at someone specifically. I don't hear anything at all. So let's do that. Let's pretend that we're in this mango forest. The air gets thin. We're happy and cheery, but something feels weird. Wait. Do you hear that? No, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. And then bam, the aswang. I said aswang. Whatever. This creature comes out. It's called aswang. Is that what it says? Aswang comes in, swoops in, takes me. I'm still alive, but that would be such a high, like a, what do you call it? Like a high fluctuated moment. You're like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry. That's funny. Okay. That was one take. I like to leave a lot of space in between. So when I'm editing, because I'm going to take this footage, I'm going to submit it. This is a live audition. How can we do this in a different take? She asked for 2 to 3 different takes. We're just going to do 2. We're not going to complicate this because there's 6 scenes that we have to break down. It's not going to be as long as this, but I'm having fun. We're going to be as long as until I'm done. And we do have to speak Tagalog in like scene number 5 or scene number 6. So that should be fun. Anyways, how can, oh, no, not that one. So how can we do this in a different take? The first take, I did it as in, we were having a good time. I was looking off camera and I said, wait, as in, wait a minute. Something's not right here. Do you hear that? She would say something as in, I don't hear anything. Or like, what do you hear? I'm like, no, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. So we were curious. We were alert. I think my first way that I did it, it was a bit jokey. I like that. Like, I don't know why. That was my first intuition. I'm going to follow my intuition here as an actor and make that choice. So it's more of like, oh, wait. And like we were joking around before, I still want to keep that energy. But as these just 4 lines, as we're saying it, the energy kind of shifts. Oh, I'm curious about that. Okay, let's just see how that one goes. This is take 2. So we're walking, we're having a good time. We're probably just talking about ripe mangoes and how I haven't had a mango in such a long time. I just use it for herbs and spices because I am a healer. So we're just talking about mangoes. Wait. Do you hear that? No, that's the weird part. I don't hear anything at all. Cut. So that one was a bit more subtle. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, literally, I don't want you guys, if you are auditioning for Kiko, if you are auditioning for other characters, it does feel weird when you're doing it. I'm doing this while live, by the way. But trust your intuition as a creative, as an actor, as a voice actor. And in situations like these, I'm in my own home. It's interesting. It's a lot different than if you're in your home, or if you're filming, or sorry, like recording while standing up, while you're in a closet. Some people record in the closet because of the acoustics, but it's a different energy. It's a different vibe. But just trust your intuition as how you deliver these lines. Those are the 2 takes. We're going to move on to the next one. But before we do that, we can go to just chatting, because I already see a lot of comments down there. Plus, I need a little water break. What did I miss? What did you guys... Wow, it's a mango tree forest. It's a mango tree forest. Oh, Manchi, I'm so sorry. I saw your name. I wanted to say hiya. Hiya. We got some new emotes. I made them myself. I hope you like them. I don't know if you can use them or not. Just because, I don't know. I think subscribers have even cooler ones. But we are auditioning. It's a live audition for Sinigang, which is a Filipino indie series. And I'm just breaking down my character process. What is it? You must be healthier like him. You must be healthy like him. Hosen said. That's funny. How tall are you? I am 6 foot. But Kiko, he's 19, and I think he's much taller. I mean, he might be 6'3". What'd you say? A scrumptious one. I don't know what I said earlier, Yapaholic. Should the weight sound inquisitive? See, that's out of my vocabulary. What does inquisitive mean? Inquisit. That's quite inquisitive. Sounds smart. But you could say it like that. It's an actor's choice. I'm excited to hear you, an artist at work. I love that much. You snarled and captivated me with your performance. It didn't feel forced at all. It felt completely natural. Or you just finished peeing in a bush. Tabi po. Monchi, yes, Monchi, that's the ones. Those are the ones. Yeah, I got the cooking one, as in like, oh, he's cooking right now. He's in his element. Yeah, I'm trying. We got the Filipino sun emote, the Russian emote. If you're on TikTok or YouTube, just know that on Twitch, you have a lot more over here. Terrell, yes, absolutely. There are ones that I think first subscribers, re-subscribers or prime subscriber. Oh, I haven't done prime subscriber, but I got the love, I got the hype. There's one with the Filipino sun behind me, and there's one that is the Russian. I don't even know. I forgot what it was. It was like a Russian symbol that's commonly known. So I got both of my ethnicities into my emotes if you want to play with them. But yeah, we are going to go on to the second scene. I love it, Manchi. I hope Yapaholic, Manchi, Terrell, all of you guys are having a great day, as well as on TikTok and on YouTube. Kick. My Meld Studio, which I stream through, it says, "Oh, Kick is you can't stream on Kick." I'm like, I don't care. Kick is Kick. I care more about these other platforms. Twitch, most importantly. All right, let's break down this next character, or not this next character. Let's break down scene number 2. Let's get into it. Okie dokie. So this is going to be emotional, you guys. So he's going to be talking about his mom. His mom is in a coma, and he is a healer. That is what do you say? Who is Kiko?
Meet Kiko.
He is a albulario, which is a Filipino healer. It probably says here, despite being a healer, he cannot cure his sick mother. Driven by desperation, he isolates himself in the belief that preparation can outthink fate. So I can already tell he's very logistical. He likes to think and plan and prepare. And Dama is the opposite of him, where she just goes in head first, headstrong, and goes in without a plan and tries to figure it out, almost like an improviser does. They just try to figure it out as we go. But him, I can already tell, especially with the other scenes that we're going to do, he kind of gets frustrated at Tama and gets pissed off. So you guys are going to see me get a little frustrated here, but it's all an actor's choice. So I might be very loud and angry, or I might just be very subtle with it. But this is going to be the emotional scene because his mother is sick and in a coma. And so, oh, it even says here, yeah, Tama is headstrong and meets danger with force. Kiko searches for understanding to try and rationalize. I can already tell. People like that, who try to rationalize all the time, sometimes they just get stuck in their own thinking that they don't take action. And so Tama being there is like a complete opposite. But it's funny how opposites attract, but opposites, how they just pair well together. I don't know what this was. This is pairing well together. Let's go back. That's interesting. Okay, so this is the context. Tama asks how Kiko's mother is doing, how my mother is doing. And I might just say that, I'll put it in first person context, how my mother is doing. She's been in a coma for some time. So I have learned to live with the uncertainty, but it's still difficult to talk about. See, I'm already kind of making my choice of, instead of Kiko, I say me. This is something that a lot of directors do to their actors, and it's called the interrogation process, meaning that when an actor is having a difficult time with a character, they're like, I just don't understand Kiko, or I don't understand this character. Why does he say this? The interrogation process, and it was coined by a specific director. I can't name him. He said how he will talk to the actor, and he said, I'm going to ask you some questions. And this is the interrogation part. He said, I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer as if you were that character. Now, he asks specific questions tailored to that character and not to the actor, meaning, he'll say, what's your name? My name is Kiko. How old are you? I'm 19. He wouldn't say, what did you have for, or he might say, what did you have for breakfast this morning? But he wouldn't ask, the character, which is Kiko. He says, so what does Giovanni like to do? The character doesn't know who Giovanni is. The character is Kiko. The character doesn't know he's in an animated series. That's how specific you got to get with these things. So I'm going to start saying I instead of Kiko. So just be very careful here because you're like, oh, gee, I'm sorry. How's your mom doing? Like, it's okay. I'm just breaking down a scene right now. So my mom's been in a coma for some time, and I learned to live with the uncertainty, but, it's still difficult to talk about. So the direction is quiet. It's personal, not looking for sympathy. And this is interesting. It's a small moment of hope at the end. So I'm just going to read these lines out loud, which every actor should do when they get a script. It just says, about the same. That's what they always tell me. Small pause. I don't read that, but understand that that's there. I still visit her whenever I can. Sometimes I talk like she can hear me. Soft laughed. I don't know. Maybe she can. This is interesting. I'm just going to start with the end here because it says a small moment of hope at the end. Now, when you're talking about your mom, she's been in a coma and you can't heal her. You obviously, what does it say? I've learned to live with the uncertainty, but it's difficult to talk about. So I say sometimes I talk like she can hear me. If your parent was in a coma and you would visit them in the hospital and you were talking to somebody about this moment, and you were like, yeah, sometimes I just talk like she can hear me. And I laugh. These are questions. Why do you laugh? Why is there a soft laugh? I don't know. Maybe she can. You would say, because the direction says a small moment of hope at the end. Instead of saying, I don't know, maybe she can. You wouldn't say it like that. You would say it like, I don't know. Maybe she can. Still shows you like, okay, he has a little bit of hope. That's how I would play that. It's not big, but it's subtle and it's different. And this goes to, I was reading all these different scenes, and so the most important part as you're doing this is understanding in this case that when I say about the same, why do you say about the same? That's the first line you have. What happened before that? Are you talking to Tama? Yes, you are. What do you think she said to make you say about the same? She probably said, so you haven't talked. You could just, this is a creative choice. She could say, you haven't talked about your mom. How's she doing? About the same. Yeah, that's what they always tell me. Yeah, I still visit her whenever I can. Sometimes I sometimes I talk like she can hear me. I don't know. Maybe she can. All right, I want to let you guys know. I just felt it right there. So I wanted to go into it without any further explanation. So I had my creative choices. I did not go into full screen. I'm going to do that right now before I go into the next take. I'll just edit that in post. But I felt that as a creative choice just to go with it because I felt it. If you feel something in your intuition as an actor, you go with it. So yeah, what makes her say about the same? She can instead, because I have to do this for a second take. The first take was exactly how the direction said it. It was quiet, it was personal. It wasn't looking for sympathy, but it was a small moment of hope at the end. I was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe she can. So I smiled a bit. How can I do this in a different take? Let's bring it back. She could say, I heard your mom is being moved to a better part in Sinigang. So we can just pretend that there is another hospital in Sinigang, or she's getting better treatment in Sinigang. Sinigang is the actual world they live in, or the title of this indie film. And so she said, Tama can say, I heard she's being moved to a better area. I hope she's doing good there. About the same. Yeah. And I was going to go into it one more time, but why do I say that's what they always tell me? Maybe in this case, she could just say about the same. She could say, that's what they always tell me. Hopefully, maybe she says, hopefully she gets better soon. Or, oh, I'm sure she's going to get better soon. That's what they always tell me. Ooh, we can do it like that. If you don't want to talk about something, you kind of give one-worded answers or maybe a more directive take. Oh, I got it. Let's hop in. So, in this case, she has the first line. So, I'm going to look off camera and think in my head, have internal dialogue as an actor, and I say in my head, I heard your mom was moving to a better part to get better treatment. I hope she's doing well. That's what I'm going to say inside my head. And then I'm going to say about the same. What that does as an actor, you get to see the thinking in the eyes. What's that funny the funny phrase is, it's all in the eyes, Chico. I think what's his name? Oh, I don't know. He's an amazing actor, but he just says it's all in the eyes, Chico. So when you have internal dialogue as an actor, you can see what he's thinking, what's going on in his head. Sometimes you don't know, but he has something. He's feeling something. So have that first thought in your head, and then have the second thought when you deliver your next line and next line. I will have to look back down, but I'm always used to talking to a reader. So if you see me talk this way, it's like I'm talking to somebody else, right off screen. That's what they always tell me. I still visit her whenever I can. Sometimes I talk like she can hear me. I don't know, maybe she can. Okay, this is going to be take 2. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, about the same. Yeah, that's what they always tell me. I still visit her whenever I can. Sometimes I talk like she can hear me. I don't know, maybe she can. And cut. Oh yeah, Tony Montana by Al Pacino. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk while I'm filming. No, it's funny. That's exactly it. I appreciate you looking that up. So that was take 2. The first take, honestly, I have to watch these over again, but I just knew as, I felt it in a different intuition. I felt it differently. as I was doing both of those takes. So that's funny. Let's hop over. I'm ready. Let's go. Ooh, I'm ready. Let's go to the third one, which is frustration. Let me get a sip of water real quick. All right. This is frustration. Gosh. This is another thing too. I'm making content, but I'm also doing an audition, making me speak so much. So this is Tama is about to do something reckless. As always. See, I already have feelings about her. Of course she's going to do something reckless. That's just her character, the direction. I'm frustrated because I care. I'm not yelling. I'm not trying very hard to get through to her. Oh, I'm trying very hard to get through to her, but I'm not yelling. I'm just frustrated because I care. I don't want you to be doing. I don't want you to. What is it? What is it that she's doing? Excuse me. That's so reckless. I don't know. Maybe she's trying to fight. Let's go back to one of these mythological creatures.
Kiko is 19.
No, not that one.
I'm creating a Filipino animated series, and this is the very beginning. It's called Sinigang, a story about Filipino mythology, family, and fighting your way out. It follows a young Arnie spider named Tama, who just wants to lift her and her grandmother out of poverty. She gets pulled into a world.
Here's where my creative mind is going to take me. This kiwig that you see right here, kiwig, it says human by day and then shapeshifter by night. Kiwigs take the action form of like a black cat. This is interesting. I'm just going to make the creative choice that the reckless thing that Tama is doing in this scene, that I get frustrated, is that Tama is trying to interact with a kiwig and understand it. It says human by day and then shapeshifter by night. Maybe she's trying to understand this. Maybe she's trying to capture it. I don't think she's trying to capture it. I feel like she is just following it. Maybe she's so intrigued, she's just following it. You ever just follow something just because it's interesting, like a lightning bug in the middle of July? You know, it's just like, where are you going? What are you doing? And you just kind of walk where it's going, and then you see more, and then it's like a whole family of them. So maybe that she's following this kiwig just because she's intrigued, and then there's like a whole family of them, but maybe they're not friendly. And I'm seeing this, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm not gonna yell at her. I just want to get through to her. So my lines are, Tama, just slow down for a second. Maybe we're trying to chase this thing together. I'm like, slow down for a second. You don't have to solve everything by yourself. We're your friends, remember? Oh, let us help. Okay, that didn't make any sense of my backstory. See, I was trying to create a backstory, and it didn't really make any sense there because I'm saying you don't have to solve everything by yourself. We're your friends, remember? We're with people, by the way. So remember the other characters? We have Tama. We have, where are the other ones? We have Mr. Ocrisio.
Do you think you could be the voice of Mr. Ocasio? Mr. Ocasio is the founder.
We have this guy. He's the founder and CEO of Adobo Republic. So he's a big dog. Maybe Lolo Rinda is here as well, which is Tama's mom, I believe. Maybe not. But it says here that we're your friends, remember? I don't think Lola Rinda, if that's her mom, would be. I would say that was your friend. So who are we with? Maybe we meet some people that aren't even introduced in Sinigang. Ooh, interesting. Maybe we're meeting new characters in this how do you say it? In the storyline so far. But what is she doing that I have to say, Tama, just slow down for a second, in a frustrated voice? I'm trying to think of, and this is great, a lot of people do emotional recall when it comes to how do you feel when you get frustrated. When I get frustrated, it's because so many people are saying so many different things. I'm just getting a little tight, a little antsy. And I'm just like, Tama, just slow down for a second. Okay, you don't have to solve everything by yourself. We're your friends, remember? Just let us help. That's take one. That was my natural introistic. Did I use your word, chat? What was it? That was my natural intuition right there. So that's going to be take one. And I kind of said that with an eagerness You know, I'm trying very. It was yeah. It was trying to get through to her, almost like we are friends. Remember, just let us help. So I really like that way we did it. Let's do it a second take, but how do we do it a second take? And I keep doing this in the middle. Like I keep forgetting that I have to switch between one scene to the next, but you guys are just seeing it live. I can just crop in post edit. So Tama, just slow down for a second. You don't have to solve everything by yourself with your friends, remember. I'm frustrated because I care about her. I don't want to see her get hurt. What is she doing? Slow down for a second. Maybe we're just talking. Maybe she's not even doing anything. Maybe we're just talking. She's trying to solve. Oh, wait, what is her motive? Oh my gosh. Let's go back here.
I'm creating a Filipino animated series, and this is the very beginning. It's called Sinigang, a story about Filipino mythology, family, and fighting your way out. It follows a young Arnese fighter named Tama, who just wants to lift her and her grandmother out of poverty, but she gets pulled into a world of supernatural forces. At its heart, it's about found family and what it really means to protect the people that you love. So while it's not about the dish Sinigang itself, it's about what it represents. Each character is like an ingredient, and
Oh, I think we found our friends. I don't know who these two characters are because it's not listed on either Camille's or Sinigang. How do you say it? Their characters. But oh wait, is it right here? Drew this one a while ago. See, it doesn't even have a name. This is the research you have to be doing, right? As an actor. Wait, who's this one? Or maybe okay, it's not like it's unreleased, but there's not. Oh, Rika. Is that her name? So here's Rika. There's Rika. And there's your boy. Not sure what to name him yet, though. Oh. He looks like a JR. That's such a Filipino thing. There's always a JR. If there's not a JR, there is an RJ. There's always a JR or RJ in the Filipino family. I will say this. This is only between you and me, okay? As a kid growing up, in my like when I went to see the Philippines many times, I got the nickname Jojo. And there's always an Uncle Jojo, Kuya Jojo in the family. And Jojo is just like Jojo's the fun one. I'm just gonna say it like that. Jojo's the fun one. In the family, he's like the entertainer, so that's funny. Or JR or RJ. I don't think he fits that JoJo vibe. He looks a little bit more how do you say it? Put together like a JoJo. So I feel like we're with these two. We're with Rika, and JoJo in this scene as I'm getting frustrated with her. But why? By the way, the first character that we saw was her grandmother. And let's continue on because I feel like there was more information. But I'm going to feel like we're with these two characters. Do I know anything about these characters? Absolutely not. But just to have an idea of who's with me, you're with a group. So I could, it's that simple, that thought of a voice actor. Like these are the people that I'm with. These are our friends now. So you don't have to do this alone. See, I just delivered the line. Right? Did I say that? You don't have to solve everything by yourself. We're your friends, remember? And it just helps the actor deliver the line when they have a better picture of what's going on.
together they become something much more. Right now
I don't know who that guy is.
we're refining the pilot script and developing the characters. Once that's locked in, the goal is to build a team of artists.
I think I got it. I mean, she's trying to help her grandmother, which I feel like that's who this one is, Lolo Rinda. There's another one. Can't seem to find. Wait, stop. Is this what I think it is?
While I've been doing research for Sinigang, I've been doing a lot more research into arnis, which, as some of you know, is a Filipino martial art. It's also known as eskrima, and what I didn't realize is how much of it comes from adapting over time. From what I've learned, pre-colonial Filipinos already had weapon-based combat, but during Spanish colonization, a lot of weapons, such as blades, became restricted. So, people started training with sticks instead. And when those restrictions happened, they adapted using whatever was available, sometimes even using farm tools just to continue practicing. The idea of adapting based on your situation is something that I've been thinking a lot about for Sinigang. And because the Philippines is made up of so many different regions, different styles developed depending on the environment and the community. So even in the story, I don't want everyone to move and fight in the same way. It should reflect where they come from and what they've gone through. I want to carry that into Sinigang in a way that feels honest. Have you ever seen or tried arnis before?
I want to. I was so captivated because I did martial arts. I did mixed martial arts. So I did Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing. Excuse me. That was my lunch that you just heard. But I pursued mixed martial arts for about 8 months, and I did that as an actor, like physically as an actor, not voice acting, because I wanted to perform my own stunts. Jackie Chan is my favorite actor of all time. Just watching him growing up, there's the nostalgic factor, but seeing him just perform, I was just like, whoa. I want to do that. And the reason why I take improv classes at the Second City in Chicago is because I want to do more comedy action-based movies. So you think of something like Deadpool, or you think of Spider-Man that's about to come out. They have this level of comedy, this level of action that perform their own stunts. And there are things like stunt doubles. I don't mind getting one, but I wanted to pursue that. And so I was like, okay, I want to learn stage combat, but let's learn actual combat first. So I pursued this martial art, and as I started to understand more about my culture, I understood that there's a Filipino martial art called arnis or eskrima. There's another name, and it's like stick fighting, but I think you use actual blades. So it was like the way of the blade, and I was like, dude, that's it. Let me learn arnis. And then on my Russian side, there's sambo. So there's wrestling. There's sambo. Wrestling didn't come from the Russian culture, but sambo did. But like I said, there's so many different martial arts. There's taekwondo. There's karate. There's judo. Sambo, arnis. You got so many. And I knew that I wanted to learn it. I saw arnis, and it just sounds like a dude's name. Arnis? Sounds like his name. This is Arnis, by the way, in my eyes. It's not actual. This is not official, but that's Arnis. I just want to see where Jojo is. There, or is it JR? There's always a JR. But I always wanted to learn Arnis, and I will learn Arnis. So you're going to see me either stick fighting or using actual blades here in the future on my actual content. So TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, of course. Twitch, I don't think I'm going to live stream that. Only here. Anyways, I got sidetracked. This is about frustration. We already did one take of this, and before I get into it, I'm just going to hop on over here because that's going to help me in post-edit. So Tama is about to do something reckless. Oh yeah, we were trying to figure out what Tama's motive was. And I believe her motive, she just wants to help her Lola. She wants to help her grandma get out of poverty. Maybe she's just trying to solve that somehow. I may not get into depth with how. Maybe it's money issues. Maybe she found an opportunity within this film Sinigang that she has to travel very far on an adventure with her friends. I love that storyline. There's a lot you can think about, but she's just trying to help her grandma get out of poverty. And so she's trying to solve it herself. And I think I get frustrated because maybe I found a friend. Maybe I found Tama as a friend. Maybe she's someone who got to me in a way that nobody else has in terms of showing me a different perspective in life. As Kiko, I've always seen things analytically and logistically. I've always been prepared, and I don't go in without a plan. And so when I see Tama, I'm just like, I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, you don't have a plan. You just want to go do something. You can't just jump from one thing to the next. So Tama, just slow down for a second. You don't have to solve everything by yourself. We're your friends, remember? Just let us help you. And cut for that. So that was that take. That one I wanted to build in. I wanted to build into the frustration. As I was saying the actual what I think, what's going on in my mind, it kind of builds up. You almost heard that frustration in my voice, and I wanted to use that into the character. We are cooking. Can I see the cooking emote? I freaking love that. It's like Gio's cooking. He is eating right now. That's always funny to see. I don't know. I just love the emotes. I love seeing them in chat. So I appreciate you guys putting him in there. Yeah, Monchi, he's cooking. He's cooking. All right, so that's going to be that second take. And with that second take, I mean, essentially, I wanted to wave. When I think of wave, I just wanted to go into it. So I kind of just went into it. And yeah, maybe a word, it says let us help. I said just let us help you. Just let us help you and let us help you are very different lines. Very different lines. And there are specific casting directors and script writers who wrote this script. They're like, stay true to the script. Don't add words. I want you to say exactly how it is. They're out there. But I felt it to say, just let us help you. And that's my creative decision. Some people like to stick to the book and some people like to break rules. I'm a rule breaker. Sorry. Let's continue on because I know this stream is going along, but I'm having so much fun. I'm gonna put all of this on YouTube and cut it up into shorts. So Monchi, Yapaholic, Terrell, anybody on TikTok or YouTube, if you guys want to comment, there's like a specific part you're like, ooh, that would be a fun little clip. Please let me know. We're actually gonna go hop over here. Oh, you know what? I haven't done this with you guys. Isn't Robin Williams famous for going off script? Robin Williams. Oh gosh. He is like a Michael Jordan. He is like I was going to say Barack Obama. There's just a one of a one. And Robin Williams, he was amazing. He is a comedian. He has a comedic background. You think of it like improv. He can just think, he's so confident in what he says and his delivery. And he's just so funny. And so I don't know if he's just famous for going off script, but his mind works in such a fascinating way that he really just captivates you in a scene. We're going to switch up here. I don't know, chat, if you guys have not experienced a pack opening, we're going to do one for you guys. And I know Terrell, Monchi already did it, but Yabaholic, I don't think you did it. When we booked Gen Con, which is North America's biggest card convention, we got a whole bunch of packs. And this was through my agency, by the way. They said, we need a model to dress up as this character. We need a model to dress up as F with me ammo. And so I did. I dressed up as this character. I have the pictures, and I'm not going to show them to you. Not yet, at least. And so that card game I have right here. And I'm going to open up the pack. And in the chat, I want you guys to say one of four colors. This can either be... I'm going to make sure I say this right. Hold on. I don't remember. It could either be blue, green, purple, or orange. Let's just go with that. So in the chat, say right now, it's the boss's color. So you can say... red, blue, green, or pink. No, it wasn't that, was it? Was it? Red, blue, green, or pink. I don't think there was any red. Blue, green, purple, orange, or red? I don't know. Just say a color, okay? Either blue, green, red, purple, or pink. Just say one of those colors. You have a 4 out of 5 chance of getting it right as I'm opening this. I'm going to say green. Blue. Yapaholic locked in. He said blue. Come on, what else do we got? Purple, always. Anybody else in the chat? You got a few seconds left. Wimbledon, there's some people on TikTok right now. Just say in the chat a certain color: purple, green, blue, pink, or orange. And bada bing, this is what I love. You can play a whole game out of just this pack. So it comes with like dice that you have to put, almost like Magic the Gathering. It is counters. All right, you ready? So it's always in the back. It is purple. Oh, wait, what is this color? Blue. You can tell. It is blue. Who said blue? Yapaholic, you got it. You got it right. This is Charlotte Nightbringer. Ooh, wee. This is the boss. I like this. I might just learn how to play this game. This is Charlotte Lightbringer. So I'm going to have fun here before we get into our next scene. I'm going to pick you guys characters. What do we got? We got Munchie, Yapaholic, I think Terrell, whoever else in the chat. When I think of Monchi for today, Monchi, you are okay. And when I think of Yapaholic. All right. Do not get mad. This is just the first intuition. This is your card, Monchi. This is what I thought about when I said Monchi. So that is, I don't even know, Zanny, Nobody's Feel. She's part of a gang of clowns. Just what we got. And Yapaholic. This is what I thought when I thought about Yapaholic, called Best Offense. This is a tactic card. It's almost like a spell card if you think about Yu-Gi-Oh! I freaking love Yu-Gi-Oh! Deal damage to target boss or fighter equal to the greatest health among fighters on your team. Damn! Pretty good. Anyways, I don't know why. I just wanted to open up a pack. My Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing days. Feels good to nurture that little kid inside of me. Anyways, let's go back. Okay. So this, you guys might hear me clip because I'm gonna start yelling. So I'm just gonna step away from the mic. But this is about tournament. Hold on, let me fix this. This is a fun one. This is tournament hype. I remember I was doing this, and it was fun to do. So Tama wins a fight. I remember her grandma does not want her fighting, but I think this is a way to help her get money, I believe. So she wins a fight in a spectacular fashion. I completely forget to play it cool. As I'm breaking this character down, I think Kiko likes Tama. So maybe I'm just trying to play it cool, like when you are with your crush. I would like that. I feel like that's how this series is gonna go. You know, you have to have a love interest. You don't have to, but it makes it more interesting. And so I think Kiko likes Tama. Or, yeah, we're just gonna go with that. I think the alternative is that there's just that really strong, friendly bond, and Tama opened up Kiko's eyes in a way that he never knew because he's always so prepared for everything, and Tama's almost hard-headed, but very brave and courageous, and that's something I can always admire in someone that I like or a friend. So I really like that like factor. Tama wins a fight, and I'm trying to play it cool, but I'm going off the chain. I'm just gonna do this how I would do this. So I might yell. So please excuse me if I start peeking right here. I don't know. I'm just gonna have fun with this. So it says pure excitement, loudest we've ever heard him all day. Here's a big thing. When people say loudest, they might just yell at the top of their lungs. They might just yell in their own pure excitement, which we will do, but we'll gauge here just because we know this is for an audition. But if Kiko is just chill, he's very calm. He has a warm cadence, and he thinks before he speaks. This is my baseline. And so if I just talk like this and I'm a little bit more accentuate with what I say, I'm still louder. This is the loudest I've ever been if I always just talk like this. So that's something to keep in mind. Loudest doesn't always mean yelling, but this is the loudest we've heard him all day. And I think in a tournament setting, if she wins a tournament, that means she won a lot of money. That means she can help people. We can start to feel a good level. We can start to feel good here. So I'm laughing through some of the, I probably will laugh through some of the lines. So I just say, let's go. I'm laughing. Tama, that was actually insane. That was actually insane. Let's go. What happened over here? I know for a fact. I'm just gonna get into character. So we're gonna switch over here. So that was actually insane. Are you kidding me? You completely destroyed her. I don't know what you did to destroy her, whatever that means. But I'm still laughing. I'm like, okay, no, that was crazy. So I'm hype. I wanna really, how do you say it? Build into this character. I liked what we did with the last take with the frustration, just building into the character and just going on from there. And so she wins a fight. This could be just a big old tournament. She just won a big old tournament. Something that I know the odds were against her. Like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but she did it. I'm probably with my friends. We're going to say Rika and Arnis. I'm just going to call him Arnis. He looks like an Arnis. So I'm laughing. This is pure excitement. And this is going to be interesting because I want you guys to see me see this. I will have internal dialogue. But essentially, this is how it would go. I mean, I'm going to speak out loud here. I'm going to say exactly what I said just because I got to get in the mood. So I don't know. The odds are against us. What is she even winning? Who's the girl? The girl could be like the queen of Sinigang. Imagine that, the queen of soup. So we got to get a little hype here. Hold on. I know exactly what to do. If you want to get hype in these situations physically, you just got to do some push-ups. I'm going to do some push-ups right now. No. I'm gonna squat. I'm gonna squat. All right, and if I was in a fight, because I do box. Oh my gosh, I've been sitting for such a long time. All right, we got the heart rate up a tad bit. So I see her. Oh. Wait. She's winning. But how's she winning? No. Wait a minute. I'm seeing it. Tama! That was actually insane. Are you kidding me? You completely destroyed her. Okay. No, that was crazy. And cut for that. We just had to build up that little energy. It's interesting because I'm just going to keep it like that. I know if I do it a different take, I mean, I'm looking at absolutely nothing. I'm looking at a lamp. And I think that's Tama. She just won a fight of the tournament. She just won a freaking tournament. So I like that. You know? That's just my take. Let's go to the next. That was funny. Oh no, this is so interesting because now we have to break? Hold on, what is this? Kiko has tried to be patient, but he's tired of watching someone repeat the same reckless mistakes and ignore everyone trying to help. Damn. We went from frustrated to excited. Now, this is when I get pissed. But again, pissed doesn't mean yelling. I'm going to make this very personal. Excuse me. By burping. That's exactly what Kiko would do. But I'm going to make this personal because when I get frustrated, like there have been moments where, yeah, I know I'm getting a little agitated, even frustrated, to the point where I break. I've gotten to the point where I break, but my break is like I get so quiet. And I grit my teeth, my face gets tight, and the first thing I ever say is like a yell, but I pull back immediately. So I don't want to clip the mic, but if I say then stop making the same mistake, how many times are we supposed to go through this? Do you ever listen, or do you just do whatever you want and expect everyone else to deal with it? This is interesting because what is she doing? Maybe she's doing the exact same thing of trying to solve this without us. She has friends now. I wish she would have just came to me, but I just have a raised voice. Yeah, frustration that's building for a long time. He's no longer trying to soften his words. I'm angry. I'm trying to give a circumstance. Like, what did she do? How many times are we supposed to go through this? She probably did something without us that she knew that we could have helped her. Like, why are we friends? Why do you have friends? I just read your comment. You're like, "What? Today was a circus for sure." I'm trying. This is acting. This is a live audition. It's interesting for me because this is what I do when I'm alone. Anyways, so how many times are we supposed to go through this? Do you ever listen? This could be a... I want to give it a different circumstance. The first time she was just trying to help her grandmother. She was trying to help her grandmother out of poverty. So maybe, let's just use this context. I've never had multiple scenes like this. Whenever I get an audition, it's just been maybe two sides. Sides is the side of a script. Script is exactly what you see here, but it's not in this context. It's not just my line. There's no other dialogue. My line, my line, my line. But maybe I could be completely wrong here. Maybe Camille, who is the character designer and animator, she strategically placed scene 3, 4, 5, and 6 together. Sorry, not together. She gave us all these scenes to give us more context of what's going on. So my breaking point could probably tailor to something about the tournament. What if she used, this is all creative decision here. What if she used the money she got from the tournament or all the benefits, whether that's money, whether that is housing for her Lola. She used all that and not she gave it away, but she lost it. Maybe she tried to double it and she lost all the money. You know, I was so hyped. We just did that whole tournament hype scene. I said, let's go. She just won. This is an amazing opportunity. And then she lost it. She lost it because she didn't talk to her friends. You know, this is not something that we haven't done before, of her not including us, her friends, into a decision like this. This is such a creative process that I know is looking so weird to you guys, but this makes sense to me. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's go in here. I mean, I'm really trying to. You won a whole tournament. And you gambled it away. Without even asking us, what was going on through your head? You understand that you have friends here, right? You don't have to do this alone, because the guys that tricked you to give up all that money that could have helped your Lola, you just need to stop making the same mistake. How many times are we going to go through this? Do you ever listen? Or do you just do whatever you want and expect everyone else to deal with it? And cut. All right. That's interesting. I'm trying to. You see how weird it is for me to go to frustration to laughing? I laugh because it's such an awkward. Like, I see you. I know you guys are watching, so it's just like I have a live audience here. But here's an interesting one. You think when you have a breaking point, it says I have a raised voice, and this is basically, you know, I pop my top. Is that the right pronunciation? Or, you know, I'm just really angry. A lot of people, that first line, they'll just yell it. They'll be like, then stop making that same mistake. You know, they just yell it and force it. My, you know, pop the top moment was actually at the end. Or you might have even felt it in the middle. Like, I have the frustration. A lot of people get angry in different ways. A lot of people get frustrated in different ways. And so mine was, it fluctuates. This is just emotions. We're just talking about emotions. There's not one right way to deliver these lines. There's only your way. And trust your intuition. Commit to it. And that's what takes not just good voice acting, but good acting. In my eyes. All right. I'm not saying I'm a great actor or a good actor. I'm just saying that's just what works best for me. So that was... I felt good there. I'm not going to do a second take for that. So we're going to keep that. We're going to... Oh, no. Chat. We are... we're going to speak Tagalog. We are going to speak Tagalog now. And I'll tell you what. This is going to be a learning lesson because I don't know what I'm saying. It doesn't even say if we can skip it. But it says, if you're comfortable speaking Tagalog, we'd love to hear you execute these lines. Speaking Tagalog is not a requirement, but it is preferred in the case of a Tagalog dub. if we go dub with this, like I've seen, yo, Yapaholic, thank you for reminding me. I'm hopping off. I I'm just kidding. I genuinely love doing this, so I'm gonna stay on for until we finish. And oh, scene 6 is actually the last one. Boo! No, 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 no. Hold on. Just genuinely, this is so fun. My lives usually go on just for an hour, just because that helps me. Like usually I would do a Filipino and Russian tomato, tomato. Don't you dare throw tomato. Actually, I've had some tomatoes recently. My mom gave me some from her garden. Actually, my babushka. I don't know if you guys missed it or not. Or no, Yapaholic, you were here. Babushka came in. She might have left already. But she keeps giving me her tomatoes from her garden. And they're delicious. She was here earlier, yeah. Surprised. Not on stream. Just in the house. Unannounced, by the way. We live in the same subdivision. My babula, my babushka, my mom, who's currently in Russia, they live like, I'm going to say it's like a 8-10 minute walk. But for babula, who's 85 years old, maybe like a 20-minute walk. But she gets her steps in. She gets like, I feel like she gets 10K. Anyways, that's not the point. What was it? Yeah, my streams usually last for an hour just because it helps me edit. I don't like editing, but the way that I have my content system of getting this VOD, cutting it up, having my intros, like you guys see, you know, I'll cut to main camera. I'm also playing around with a second camera to have a second angle. Could be fun, could be interesting. Then we do our reaction videos, and then we go into our just chatting screen. So yeah, guys, we came a long way. Skilla, Monchi, Terrell, Yapaholic, Little Mixed Panda's out there probably somewhere streaming right now. But we got to hop into this last one. This last one's going to be fun, so let's go out with a bang. It's cool seeing you in your element. I appreciate that. I mean, acting to me, it's like you hear people say, it's my passion, it's my love. Truthfully, I've had so many moments, and I'm saying this loud and proud because I've heard there's a YouTube channel called The Hollywood Reporter, and they have a segment called The Actors Roundtable, and they have actors from Adam Sandler to Tom Holland to Tom Hiddleston, all the Toms, and they talk about quitting the industry or having moments they feel like they don't like it. So I leave that to say that I love this genuinely, but there's so many moments where I'm just like, is this even worth it? Do I even want to do this? I remember after my first ever feature film, like I was in a movie with Alex Wolff, who just finished filming Jumanji that comes out on Christmas, I think. And I was thinking like, this is an amazing opportunity. I love this. But as I was filming it, I mean, if you ever been in the stressful part of filmmaking, it's just like, I want this to be done. But I think that goes with any career path that you might choose. I mean, anything that you love. Or put your time and passion and you find something you're ambitious with, you'll always have those moments. You'll always have those moments, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, just those moments. But you got to have the red lights if you want to enjoy the green lights, and make sure to appreciate the yellow lights. That comes from Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights. Let's hop into this. I'm happy you guys are here. I really am. Twitch community goes hard. TikTok and YouTube. Love you guys too. But nobody's in the chat. We're going to speak some Tagalog. I do not speak Tagalog, but I want to give it a take. I want to give it a try. All right. Usually I would hop into my main cam, but just because this is for funsies and I want you guys to see it with me. It's okay. So, Kiko is speaking casually with friends throughout the day. This scene is meant to test natural Tagalog delivery, conversational flow, and emotional authenticity rather than perfect pronunciation or formal speaking. Perfect, because I don't know if I can do either one of those. A-E-I-O-U. This is when I got to do vocal exercises. Crazy. Okay, so this is teasing. When I think of teasing, I think of flirting. That's how I'm going to deliver it. That's a creative choice. So I say, grab ka naman. Grab ka naman. What's the circumstance? I'm just gonna be maybe I'm gonna pretend I'm teasing a girl. I'm teasing Taba. So I'm like grab ka naman. Wait a beat. Ako na naman. Oh, I'm gonna say this both one after another. So maybe I'm teasing you. I'll be like grab ka naman. Ako na naman. Oh, it's a question. Ako na naman? This is Tagalog lessons. I say let's go. Is let's go in Tagalog. Laughing. Ang lupit nun. Ang lapit nun. What does that even mean? I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Someone translate, please. So this is concerned. Hindi. Hindi, my friend or I call him my cousin, we grew up together. They're from New Delhi and they say Hindi. But Hindi is like it must be Tagalog thing. So Hindi ka nagasala. What? Nagsasalita. Nagsasalita. Hindi ka nagsasalita. Hindi Hindi ka nagsasalita. Salita. Oh, there's no R to roll. I was gonna try to roll my R's here. So I'm like, Hindi ka nagsasalita. Kaya ako nag-aalala. Hope I said that right. Kaya ako nag-aalala. Yeah. Kaya ako nag-aalala. That felt Tagalog enough. So I'm frustrated. Oh man, are we back at the what did you do again? Why didn't you talk to your friends? What is puede? Puede? Puede bang? Puede bang bang? Puede bang? I'm gonna say bang. Puede bang isipin mo rin. I know. I bet there's a r in there. Puede bang isipin mo rin yung sarili mo minsan? Question. So I'm like, why did you even do that? Do you know you don't? Do you understand that you have friends? Why didn't you ask us? Puede bang isipin mo rin yung sarili mo minsan? Probably didn't sound right, but it felt right. Okay. Three more and we're done. Okay, soft and reflective. Maybe this is my natural tone. I'm just calm in this. So, namimiss ko lang yung mga panahong mas simple ang lahat. I'm gonna highlight this so you guys know what I'm saying as well. What? Okay. Namimiss ko lang yung mga panahong mas simple ang lahat. Oh, I forget that in the Filipino or Tagalog, Bisaya, whatever it is, you guys have English words you kind of just throw in. So I think simple is just regular simple. But this is soft and reflective. Maybe. So let's just bring it down. Bring it quiet. Namimiss ko lang yung mga panahong mas simple ang lahat. That was more soft. We went more soft with that one. Aww. Hold on, I gotta finish this last one. So this is warm, genuine smile in his voice. I think this is a great way because this is how I can finish this. So, iwan ko. Chat, what is it? Iwan ko. Parang mas kaya kapang nandiyan kayo. One more time. Parang mas kaya ko kapang nandiyan kayo. And just like that, we finished Kiko audition lines. I think that took me much longer than it should have. It would not normally take me about 2 hours, but I was just having fun with you guys. So would you say Yapaholic said, I guess it's about a character venting frustration about a friend's selflessness, followed by a heartfelt confession of nostalgia and feeling stronger whenever friends are around. I was kind of seeing if this let me bring it back. If all of these lines were just a reflection on like scene 4, 5, and all that too. So I feel like the concerned was me concerned while in the tournament scene, or the excited let's go was me in the let's go. Can we say that in a Philippine way? Let's go. I don't know if I want to put that in there. That's hilarious. Let's go back. Whoa, Yapaholic. I just miss the times when everything was simple. Kudos. It was an insightful 2 hours. I learned a lot. Thank you. Oh, Monchi. To be fair, you could be saying anything and I believe it. Haha. The tone sound right. If it sounds right to me, and it doesn't sound right to you, at least it sounds right to me. So, I mean, at least it sounds right. So that was good. I appreciate you being here. Sounds legit. It's giving Mario. It's giving Mario. Let's go. Let me show you yeah, let's go back here. Camille, who is the creative designer, she's going to come on. She's gonna be like, is this Filipino Mario? Let's go. That's hilarious. But yeah, let's go to my outro, which I like to do here before we go into it. Skilla. Yeah, there is an outro. You guys want to rate it 1 out of 10? So where do we go? I mean, now that I've finished exploring the scenes, so So now I need to stop and analyze and trust the work. I'm going to perform. Here's my outro. I'm reading off a teleprompter, by the way. Okie dokie. So that was my process for breaking down Kiko and preparing for this audition. I hope something I explored today helps you approach your own scripts with more curiosity and less pressure. Everything you saw was based on my personal preferences and instincts as an actor. It isn't set in stone. It isn't the only valid interpretation. And for me personally, I still have so much to learn. If you're auditioning for this project too, try not to let the auditions you see online on social media intimidate you, or maybe what you've seen here intimidate you. It's very easy to compare someone else's performance and their experience or equipment or recording setup with your own. Someone may have an entire studio while someone else may be recording on a phone, and neither setup determines who understands the character best. The most important thing is that you took a chance and you had the courage to take that chance, to bet on yourself and submit for this audition, submit the work. Listen, you can't control everyone else's performances or what casting ultimately decides who gets Kiko or Tama or any other character. You can only prepare thoughtfully, make choices you believe in, and give them your version of the character. Once you submit it, take a breath and just be proud, because you showed up. That's already the biggest part of becoming the actor you want to be. Bam! That was outro. That's for the YouTube video. Man, galing. I trained you well. You said, proud of you, GW stream. That was the outro. I hope that sounded good. The teleprompter, I will say, and we're finishing off at 2 hours. I try to put my own words in there. Skilla, Yapaholic, Monchi, everybody on TikTok, everybody on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna say this because I like when I do this. In case no one has told you yet today. Oh man, this feels like such a sad moment. I had so much fun with you guys. Thank you for bringing So much fun to this live audition. But in case no one has told you, I'm looking at you. In case no one has told you yet today, you matter. You have value. I love you. Mahal kita. Yati bialu blue. And let me say something I haven't said before, which before I say that, Yati bialu blue in Mahal kita means I love you in both Tagalog and Russian, because I'm half Russian and half Filipino, to anybody new. But in case, or let me say something I haven't said before. What's something I haven't said ever before on a live stream? I read this in chat. I don't know who said it, but take with this what you will. I'm gonna speak to all my Filipinos or anybody interested in the Filipino culture. Today or tomorrow, I want you to channel your inner turon. If you don't know what turon is, look it up and do with that what you will. Channel your inner turon. You may be hard on the outside, but just know that I see your soft, gooey inside. Such a weird outro, but I've never said it before. All right. I love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate it.